the radio.
Get ready. Woo! We are on tour, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive. When last year I spent more money on spilled liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
Hello? This is a collect call from a correctional facility from...
It's me, baby.
To accept this call, say yes after the tone. Yes? You may not use 2 ways or 3-way calling or this call will be disconnected. You are connected.
WeUpRadio.com. Live and direct in the motherfucking building. If you're not familiar, get familiar. I go by the name of Big Squeeze. I got my guy in the building with me too. Crazy T, make some motherfucking noise, my nigga.
Yo.
How you feel, bro?
Man, I'm feeling great today, man.
Good to have you here, my nigga.
Yeah, man.
Good to have
Good
you
to be
here,
here,
man.
man. They rocking.
How was Christmas, man?
Christmas was dope.
See, this is the thing, though. Your daughter's 17.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still give a fuck about Christmas?
Oh man, no, I had her woke since she was about 13. We don't believe in this pagan holiday.
So one day you was on a broke year, you said, you know what?
You know what, man?
Let me teach you the life lessons.
It's a plan perpetrated by the white man to keep us down financially. And I ain't gonna stand for it, baby. I ain't gonna teach it to you.
Hey, yo, that's a good message, but for your reasoning,
Why don't you get the fuck out of here?
I'm with you, though. I'm with you. Because as soon as my kids say, yo, nigga, I don't know what I want for Christmas. That's your last one, son.
Yeah, that's it. You
That's
better say
it.
something,
You
speak
tapped
now.
out, nigga. You don't mean nothing to you no more.
Yours getting older too. How was yours?
Expensive.
Yeah.
Expensive. Yeah. You know how they do.
Man,
You talking about expensive?
Expensive.
be mad at your kids that's being good all year. Like, God
Fuck
damn
wrong
it.
with you, nigga? You couldn't have messed up not once.
Straight A's for real.
Let me see
Nigga,
that ashtray.
about to set me back till tax time.
If you ain't familiar, I got my other guy in the building. Mr. Suicide Holly.
I don't know what's going on. You know what's going on now. Suicide Holly. Me, grinding in the city for a long time.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to have you here, man. This is about to be fun.
Get to it. It's underground. They know where we rap.
I wanna introduce, before we jump into your interview, I want to bring you to this discussion. I was having a discussion. Let me kill that. I was having this discussion, and as y'all know, many times I don't have the answers. I got a lot of questions. I don't have the answers, and I was hoping that maybe you can help me out with this shit right here.
Okay.
So the biggest question I got for this week, and I think I'm going off of it based on Kanye West. This is what made me ask this question. 1 minute collectively as black people, we can't stand this motherfucker. Then he make a move and it's like, you know what? It wasn't that bad. I still kind of like Kanye. And it's like that with a lot of people, but that was the original, my thought process. So I come to the conclusion that we are heavily affected regularly. So my question to you guys is this. How does social media, popular opinions, and mainstream media affect your opinions and your decision making? And if not necessarily you in particular, the masses. How do you think it affects it? And is it negatively?
From my point of view,
Yeah.
From my point of view, social media affects the masses in a negative way. And it is noticeable and has been noticeable for years. But who am I? I'm just
Elaborate
one man.
though, like
This is why I say what I say. I'm just one man. I can't speak on what can change, but I can.
Talk directly to the mic for me.
I'm just one man. I can't speak on what can be done to change as much as the next man with a
Okay,
bigger
so
voice
give me
can.
like an example though, or the negative influence. of that
Social media, I'm sure you see just like the rest of the people
I
see,
see-
man.
I
Social
seen a
media
lot of 'em, but I
causes
don't
a
know
lot of social media causes a lot of depression, a lot of things because of the way these people
'Cause how you
grab the
perceive-
perception on who they
Yeah.
see and what they see these people are doing, but they're only seeing the wins. You know what I'm saying? They're not seeing the struggles and the losses. So I do know that social media impacts the mental in that way. But me as a person myself, I don't look at social media in that way, so it doesn't affect me. But being that way, the way that I am, not using it as much, not having my face constantly on it, not constantly checking it to see this and that,
Right.
I do see what it's doing to others.
Do you feel like you're living more than you know the person who's not, who's constantly checking for social media? The person
Do I feel like I'm living more?
more?
I wouldn't say because I wouldn't say the next person isn't living as much, because if you do the research on a lot of people that just scroll social media all day, they are everyday workers. They have jobs. They have incomes. They just have their set time where they go and sit on that motherfucker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So these are everyday people. So it's not like they're not living.
Right. Okay.
They're just, this is kind of like, it's an added addiction to what they have. That's why I feel like it's detrimental as well, because it is an addiction. A lot of people can't wait to get that break so they can hurry up and see what's going on.
Right. Absolutely.
I think
Rushing
it's
straight to
competitive.
IG.
It's like unrealistically competitive. You know, you're competing with total strangers.
But in
and
that sense, I heard him speak on Ye, and I was just telling my sis earlier, even before Ye was making the rants he was making, I listened to Ye a long time, and I never thought he was crazy, weird, none of that. But in my statement I'm making, before he was making the jump and the push he was doing for social media a year and a half ago, I've been saying years ago, like, the likes and all that in the comments, it don't really make sense to me. Like, cause all it's doing, like, the bigger you get as an artist, a lot of your comments really don't even pertain to your music. It's just a bunch of nonsense, people looking for attention.
That's a
So
fact. That's a fact.
that's one thing. And then the simple fact that you looking at somebody else is getting tons of likes and you feeling like you so far behind them that it has you depressed. So I've been felt like all of it is stupid. So when Ye said a year and a half ago, I would use social media more if y'all cut off the likes and comments. Everybody's art and what they put out in the world is just that. You know what I'm saying? Let people judge
Let
it for
niggas
what
live,
it is.
man. Yeah.
Let people
with you
like
on
it
that.
or not like it.
I'm with you on that. I think it's more or less a popularity show than a creative outlet. I think the streaming, the outlet itself can be a good thing, but I think the negative parts of it outweigh the good. My proposal was this, and maybe I'm a little out of line, but I think this. I think every 3 months, social media should be shut down for 3 months.
You mean like
Go back-
reset or
No, I'm just saying like
Shut down. You can't go on
even
Facebook,
access it.
Instagram, none
You
of that.
can't access it for 3 months.
man, niggas will be in an uproar.
I think that.
But I think people
I
would be
think
walking
that'll
around
keep
with their
us-
head up. They wouldn't be getting
I
snatched
think
up
that'll
because
keep
they
us
face-
balanced.
Be more aware. Yeah,
We'll be
more
balanced
conscious.
in life again. Like, okay, damn, I do supposed to be hooping sometimes, or you know what I'm saying? Or I did like to go to the park, or, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Whatever. I think that'll get us back to real life. We can go back to enjoying this shit, or we can go back to our virtual world too.
Yeah.
I think we need a combination of the two.
That's
Right.
That don't sound bad, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Every 3 months we take 3 months off.
What
I
you
think
think,
you would
B?
appreciate it more. You know what I'm saying? You would utilize it better.
What would you do with
You
your
wouldn't
3
just be
months?
on there saying random shit. What would I do?
What would you do with your 3 months?
I would go back to doing what I do right now, like regular life.
Well, let's
3
see what
shows a week.
Francis think about the whole situation.
Oh, I totally agree. Oh, shit, this
Oh, my bad.
Paul, what's up?
Talk to him.
Shout it out.
Foremost, if y'all ain't know, I agree with you.
Yeah.
1000%. Do I
Absolutely.
think it'll happen? Never.
I don't either.
'Cause
It's
it's money.
too much money.
It's too much money
Too
in it.
much
And when
money.
you get to slowing up the money,
life
no.
is online now. Everybody.
The ones above, no, they ain't stopping none of that.
Yeah,
But
that's-
what I
that's
will
not
say
stopping
is,
at all.
I think social media has its good, qualities, but I think it stifles you. It destroys you creatively.
Yeah.
It destroys your logical thinking that you once had. You know what I mean? I think popular opinions are much more. They're much more in need today than the actual logic. I think people don't give a fuck about what makes sense.
Because it's easy. That's
If
why it's
it's not,
popular. It's usually like the easy decision.
it's just about let's roll with what the masses say, so I don't look like the crazy nigga. Even
What's
if I
crazy about
disagree
you
with
even
it.
saying that, I noticed that years ago, but I really put into effect about a year ago. The simple fact that I just wanted to move forward as an artist and not. I didn't want to be involved in that, so I personally took it upon myself to cut my comments off. All of these things. If you go check my page, I haven't had comments on for like over a year.
Wow.
So I post content, and if people just see it for what it is, they either be like, man, this is nice, or they be like, it's trash, I don't like it, and move
Right,
on.
right.
They can't go saying nonsense or trolling or doing anything.
That's
Hey,
crazy. That's
I'm on
dope.
the same way. My Twitter
dope.
private. My Twitter has always been private, and I have a bunch of requests. And niggas like, man, niggas want to follow you on Twitter for what? I'm on here talking.
To me,
Right.
weird.
I want to
No.
say what I want to say.
You know,
I don't
yeah,
need
this,
your
This
approval.
is amongst family. Like,
Yeah.
It's not for your opinion. It's
Yeah.
just I'm
y'all
saying
get,
what I'm saying.
y'all
It's
get
just
the
me
content that I
I'm
want you
speaking
to
right
have,
now.
You know?
Yeah, I'm with that.
Exactly.
Do you think we would get to a point where people will become free thinkers again?
Everybody, I won't say everybody, but you're gonna have a lot of more people.
I think they was trying and they got diluted. Like the whole stay woke movement, great idea, right? But then it became like woke is almost like its own little following now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People be fighting to see who the woke is. So
yeah,
it's not even
yeah.
honest like it
It's
was.
competition within wokeness now.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
can we just be free? Can you just look at the situation as an adult and decide for yourself?
Yeah. I think it's just the fear of being left out, man. Nobody want to be on the island by themselves, even if that's how they truly feel. So
Takes
it's like,
courage.
fuck it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. These niggas like this shit. Everybody like it. I must be tripping.
But
It's
it takes
safe,
courage
yeah.
to stand up
Gotta,
on it, period.
yeah.
Definitely. And people, a lot of people don't have that courage. They want to go with the safe sheep shit. Like, all right, what's cool now? All right, I can do that.
I just think that's hurting life in general because you know you can only run that it's entertainment angle for so long because a lot of people like to run that past me. Oh, it's just entertainment. This shit ain't real. This Facebook. This ain't real. But you know if you play like that 7 days a week, eventually this is really you.
Right.
You know what I'm
And look,
saying?
you
Like
hear it in the music.
it's not a game no
like
more.
Like he was saying, like being an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear it in the music, people will hear the formula and everybody will follow it, hit the same way.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? It takes courage to be an artist. Like I'm gonna make what I want. Whoever fuck with it, fuck with it.
It's a dangerous cycle to play with if you don't mean what you're saying. Like for instance, you ever meet like a stripper chick, and she, you know, everybody, all
Several.
her friends telling her, "Don't do that shit." Blah blah blah. I just need a couple dollars. Blah blah. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was 10 years ago. Like
Employee of the month and shit.
you can't be telling me that you just in it. You in love with this lifestyle now. This is
Yeah.
this is you now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't play them. You can't play that game. You can't ride that fence, man. You either in or you out.
It's gonna be better for you if you just commit. Like fuck it, this is what I do.
Exactly.
Let's make the most
And,
out of it.
and I think you hit it right around the head though when you said it takes courage to stand up and be yourself. Like that's so crazy.
Yeah.
But it's fucking. You are courageous now for being yourself.
Yeah.
That's
You don't even
ill.
know what you can overcome until you try.
You want to know what's crazy as well?
What's that?
Before I cut the comment off, I knew exactly what we're saying right now. How it takes courage to be yourself and want to even say anything or speak amongst social media because it's a monstrous world. It's the
Absolutely.
internet. When I cut my comment off, my fans got more intimate. They start DMing me.
Yeah.
The shit that they wanted to say in the comments,
Well-
but didn't want to get eaten up by people.
What you did was dilute it and like kind of basically trim the fat. You know, pull the weeds out. You made it accessible to everybody.
Exactly.
But what you did was only made it to the point where only true believers and supporters and fans will want to continue this road with me. Everybody else, you ain't fucking with me because it ain't the popular wave or whatever. I don't need you around me
I don't need
anyway.
100 and 200 fire and gold emojis that's gonna jade
Exactly.
me and make me not want to create it.
But
my best.
you
I
got
don't care for
200
it.
likes and 20 niggas buying the album. You know what I'm saying? Versus having 20 likes and 18 of them purchase your shit and the other two gonna get it tomorrow.
Because it's organic.
You know what I'm saying? Because these real true supporters and fans and
Truth and few.
yeah.
Authentic.
So that's why the independent route in music was so dope. But that's the reason why you should probably try the independent route in life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, preach.
You feel what I'm saying?
Wow.
Because if you was to go that route, then all of a sudden you weeding out the fuck niggas you don't even really want around you anyway.
Yeah.
But because you so caught up in this life, you allow them to stay there. You don't even want these niggas around.
Right.
But this nigga got 20,000 followers, so you like, well,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
What are you doing it for?
This is
you
my
know?
dog, though. This is my publicly that shit dog. You don't even like the nigga.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, man, you gotta live your truth, man.
It takes courage for all the stuff that we do. Entertainment, it takes courage to do this. Like my first time on stage, terrified.
Yeah.
But it was like, if you are what you say you are, get your ass up there and give the people a show.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's real. That's real shit, man. I just think, you know, the struggle is real. And I felt like I wasn't alone on this, so I wanted to know y'all opinions on that shit. Now, one last question. What is the I don't know how often y'all can see this, but the popular opinion from the one popular nigga. Like, for instance, if Cardi B was to go right now on IG and be like, you know what, it's cool if the baby shitted before 8 o'clock in that diaper, it's cool to smack the shit out that baby because they ain't got no business shitting before then.
That's right.
And it's gonna be a bunch of people who, because they love her music and this and that, they will find reasons to defend why it's cool to smack the shit out of a baby for shitting before 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I know what you're saying. I see it, but I think it's more. I don't think that's authentic. I think that's just people just agreeing with somebody because they want to be.
I agree with that. I agree. They want to be down, right? So, like, I make it a little more intimate. Let's say somebody you know, they say some foolishness, like you just don't agree with. Whatever it is, when you look under the comments, all you gonna see is people who willing to support them because they good friends to them. Now, in my opinion, we can always be good friends without me agreeing with what you saying.
Yeah.
I don't have to believe this stupid shit you just said for you to still be my mans. I think people confuse that with supporting somebody. I think what you're doing is kind of leading them in the wrong direction, and you giving them fuel to continue to go in that wrong direction because you're giving them that false hope. How you feel about that?
I think a lot of people avoid confrontation, and they scared of confrontation, and they loved ones know that. So instead of, causing friction, they just play it back. I'm like, y'all ain't even gonna get this nigga riled up. I don't want him in his feelings. I don't want him to feel like, so I'm just.
You see that nigga, he stole on that old man, and you saw that old nigga bump me though. Hell yeah, that nigga did bump you though. I seen it.
Man, no.
Yeah, you supposed to tell that nigga.
You hurting people. You hurting your loved ones more than you helping them by doing that. Shit.
I
you coddling them. And depending on the setting, let's go back to that scenario. If an old nigga bump him, right? If we in public, I'ma ride with you. Yeah, he bumped you. Fuck wrong with you, nigga. But when we get back in private, I'ma tell you. Nigga, you know
that nigga.
Knock that off.
You know what I'm saying?
I'ma support you in public. I'ma be your nigga.
So what you just did was open up a new little layer to it, though. So you basically said, if you my dog, I gotta ride with you the whole way, regardless, and publicly.
Publicly. But we gonna get it established when we behind closed doors that publicly we not doing that no more.
When do you say, when do you at that moment in time say, you know what, my nigga, that was out of line? When do you make the stand right there?
As soon as y'all get away.
First time.
And y'all in your own
I'm saying on the public side. When do you say, yo, no, you was tripping? What would get you to that point?
Like I'll give you an example. I went down to Columbus.
Cause if I see my man's bump an old nigga, I'm not gonna tell him later. I'm gonna tell him like, man, get the fuck off this old man.
Oh no, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? I know you meant literally like an old nigga, like an old man.
How old is this nigga?
He's a senior citizen. He bumped you on accident. You knocked.
I'm gonna tell my nigga right there.
I don't let nobody